Hello, everybody. Welcome back into Talking Fitchburg. Join me today from our Public Works Department. We've got Phil. He's back on the show. And Phil, you have your monthly update on sustainability and more. First and foremost, how are you doing this first of May?
I'm feeling great.
Are you hoping
We
for
had a,
warmer weather?
I just like weather. I suppose it's about time for it to start warming up. Yeah.
Well, it didn't hold people back from our recent Recycling Day annual event here at City Hall. A lot of people coming out and doing the right thing by disposing of stuff in a proper way and keeping it out of our landfills. We had a little chance to talk about this event, but now it's over. And what do you have to say?
I think it was a great success. We had a lot of participation. It was a little bit chilly and drizzly and windy all Saturday morning, but it didn't stop people from coming out. Yeah, we had a number of volunteers come and help us, which was fantastic, and they were not short of work to do. So really appreciate people coming out again.
Yeah, I showed up at 8 o'clock and there was a line for the electronics. You will get numbers back on both electronics and how much paper was disposed of. Is that correct?
We will in the next couple of weeks. So in the last few events, we've gotten between 2 and 3 tons of confidential paper dropped off for shredding. We've gotten 6 to 9 tons of electronics dropped off for recycling, as well as around somewhere between 50 and 100 pounds of unused medications dropped off for proper disposal. And so I'm expecting numbers around there again, but we'll know the specifics in the next week or two.
Well, if you're watching this interview now and you're like, oh man, Phil, I totally missed this event. What am I going to do? We have some
Well,
options out there that can help folks. And start maybe just first off, what do you do if you've missed this completely?
well, you got several options. Or if, like me, you showed up at the event and forgot your electronics to recycle back at home in the garage, Um, there are several things. You can just hold on to it. We're going to have another event in September or October. I don't remember the exact date right now, but we always do this event twice a year, once during Earth Month and once in the fall. So if you don't need the extra space cleared out, you can just kind of hang on to it until the next electronics recycling event. You can also take any electronics that need to be recycled. You can take them to Resource Solutions, which is the vendor that worked with us for this event. You could take it to their location, which is up in Madison, up not too far from the airport, I think on Commercial. You can just drop off your stuff at their site. So that's an option for electronics that need to be recycled. Certainly, there are some things that certain retailers you can check out, like a Best Buy will recycle power cords if you drop those off there. If you have old cell phones that need to be recycled or hearing aids, those can be dropped off the City Hall recycling site. So one really great option is just go to the City of Fitchburg's website and search recycling tips, recycling guide, and there are resources on the city's website for how you can recycle various different items. That's one great way to go right there.
And then we do have our recycling drop-off center, which serves a lot of different needs, not particularly what we just had for our recycling day, but still a great resource for other options.
Right. Yeah. So at the drop-off site, you can bring yard waste, you can bring invasive weeds. There's a special spot to dispose of those. You can bring cardboard flattened and put those into dumpsters. And we also collect scrap metal and block polystyrene foam or styrofoam. Not kind of the flimsy flexible foam, but sort of the rigid stuff that you'd have like TVs packaged in. That can be dropped off at our recycling drop-off site. Another one is batteries. We have not been collecting batteries at this recycling day event for quite a while. They've become pretty complicated to gather in large quantities. But there are a number of places you can go to drop off batteries. Any place that sells a car battery will take back car batteries for recycling, and you can get a deposit back from that location as well if you buy and return a battery at the same place. You can also take used batteries to stores like Batteries Plus Bulbs, and they do take those back. They may charge a small fee, but they'll take old batteries back for recycling. Or if you have old alkaline batteries, don't do this with lithium batteries or rechargeables, but alkaline can really just be disposed of in the trash now is the common guidance for those.
Yeah, it's a good information there, and there's also a really good guide online if you're trying to figure out like I have this thing. how the heck do I get rid of it and
Yep.
recycle it properly? I love this feature on the website. All right, we're going to drop out of recycling and jump into B-cycle. And yes, we're not a broken record here. We know that we've talked about it, but most of the stations, if not all that are in phase one, are operational. We're out of the free part of testing them out, but that doesn't mean that the fun has to stop, right? We can still take these out for a spin.
We can absolutely still take them out for a spin, and we should. They're great. They're a lot of fun to ride these e-bikes. We do have all 7 phase one locations up and rolling, unintended, I guess. So we have the Limerick Senior Apartments. We've got Terravessa neighborhood. We have McKee Farms Park, and the Fitchburg Agora, and Wyndham Hotel at Hatchery Hill, and Hatchery Hill Park, and Oak Bank. So those 7 locations are going. We are now planning for phase 2. We're going to add a whole bunch more stations around Fitchburg, really expand this network a lot, get a little bit farther up Fish Hatchery eventually, and try to get it closer to the Madison network to make it even more connected between Fitchburg and Madison. So yeah, keep looking for those to come out. But we have 7 stations right now. We got a lot of e-bikes around Fitchburg that you can check out.
It is, and we're excited to see where people are using them, how they're using them, and if you got any feedback, certainly you can check in with Phil and just use them, right? Just use them and try them out. That's what we're hoping for here. Finally, as we wrap up, we talked about this recently, but we do have No Mow May, and again, weather hasn't been so friendly on the mowing side, anyways, if you ask me. But hey, why not give it a shot this year?
That's right. And there's a lot of different ways to participate in No Mow May. So council did pass a resolution that suspended our lawn maintenance ordinance through the month of May. It'll resume on June 1st. During the month of May, we really encourage people to go to our website and look for the No Mow May site, sign up. Registration is important, not because you're going to get ticketed if you don't register, but because we really want to know the impact of this. We want to know how interested people are. We want to know who's participating. We want to know what you're doing. So you could decide, I'm just not going to mow for the whole month of May. You might decide, I'm going to mow, but I'm going to mow less frequently, maybe twice instead of 4 times. Maybe I'm going to set my deck height a little bit higher. So instead of mowing it down to 2 inches, I'm going to mow to 4 or 5 inches, whatever the highest setting on my mower is. And that just allows the flowers to bounce back a little bit faster. All these things are really about keeping flowers around for these pollinators as they emerge in the spring from hibernation, so they get food sources early. There just aren't as many flowers blooming in May. And so the ones that are there, we really want to make sure they're accessible to pollinators.
Yeah, and there's great resources again online. I love our website for the resources that we have and the things that you just talked about. You can start with No Mow May, but you definitely can do things to help it year round with native plants and more. So don't be afraid to fill out the information. It's a great resource for you, as you had mentioned, to collect some information, and hopefully we can provide more resources and ideas to help bring the bees back.
Yeah, and really all this is about there are so many different city efforts that are connected here. And the general idea is that as we've developed more and more, we've really taken out a lot of native ecosystems around Dane County, Wisconsin, the country, the world. We're trying to do what we can to allow people and these native spaces to coexist. And so one of the really easy things we can do is put native plants back, decrease runoff into waterways, and make sure we've got water infiltration and that we're not drawing down our aquifers too much. All these different things are really just about trying to minimize our impact on ecosystems, on natural resources, either that we depend on or that these native species depend on. This is a pretty simple thing: is take our suburbs and turn them back into at least small pockets of native landscapes that native insects and birds and other critters can rely on.
Well, and it makes your house look cool. I mean,
And it makes your house look cool.
there's the selling point right there. It makes your house
Yeah, we
look
just
cool and everything else. Well, I think it's like a double bonus. Like you can add some value, you can add some prettiness. I'm drawing a blank on the best word here, but you're really helping out the environment and again these bees and other species that are endangered from lack of again nice or settings that used to be there that aren't there anymore. So Phil, always a pleasure talking with you. If people want to stay connected with everything you're working on, how can they follow you, sir?
you can sign up on the city's Notify Me feature function for the green e-newsletters that I try to put out about once every 2 months right now. Uh, Also starting the process of getting a contractor for a sustainability plan for the city. So we're working through contracting right now, and at some point, I'm crossing my fingers, the next month, we're going to be kicking off the city's first sustainability plan process. So that's something that we're going to have updates on. And if you really want to participate, reach out to me, and we'll have different ways for people to engage in that process. So a number of different things that you can do, and just check out the city's Green Fitchburg page from time to time. I don't always have a lot of time to update it, but occasionally new things pop up on there, and there's a lot of resources already linked on that site.
Absolutely. Phil, always a pleasure talking with you. We'll catch up with you next month, sir.
Thanks, Jeremy. Have a great May.